All right, so in our second lecture, now that we've set our Stata, we're now going to start the, the guidelines on how we can develop dissemination strategy for the microdata that we've created in the first course. So first, we have to state what we want to do, and that's very important because that would also guide us in the way we're going to run the subsequent starter codes from this course. Now, of course, again, we want to we're saying develop guidelines on on microdata dissemination in line with could be national priorities, these priorities, for instance, could be a national agenda. For instance, in the data that the survey data that we're running is from Malawi, and in Malawi they have a 2063 agenda that has three main priorities or pillars. First, they want to ensure that there is a agricultural productivity and commercialization, and then there's also an aspect of industrialization, but also an aspect to do with urbanization. So the survey data should be processed in a way that also has a meaning to it. That is, it's informing a particular policy agenda and also giving that policy agenda data that can also help the country see what is it that they need to address for them to be able to realize that agenda. So that's what we're going to do in this analysis or in this course. So we're calling this the fifth integrated household survey report, policy implications and recommendations for wealth creation. That is the vision for that agenda 2063, and then of course just indicate who's writing this report. Aim is to conduct data analysis and process IHS data, and also automated report generation. In terms of descriptions here, we're saying we're going to use the survey data from household, agriculture, fisheries, as well as community data, and then the geovariables for household from household geovariables IHS5 data file. This data file is very important because it does provide additional data that's not included in the data analysis that we conduct. For instance, in this case, we're looking at coordinates, latitude and longitude. They also provide where each and every household was, where that household was located. So we can also, just map out to say, okay, what is the distribution of these, households that were selected to ensure that indeed it was a representative sample that was selected. And then also there are other variables like population density. You have temperature variables, also precipitation data. We also have the precipitation, population density, but also we do have temperature data. So this is very important just to see what are the characteristics in terms of looking at the Malawi as a whole. What are the patterns in terms of rainfall, precipitation, population density, and then even we'll bring in other aspects that we've generated, we've processed during the first course. That is, okay, what is the distribution of poverty? What is the inequality situation in the country? So that's what we're also going to do. And then the first thing that we need to do, of course, is to load the data. And from the first course, what we did was to ensure that the final data that we processed should be saved in a folder in the output folder, and then we do have, you know, the household 2019 you know, survey data that we had processed. So that's one aspect. So if you go into the output, you see that's where the data is, but also some of the subsequent data files that we're going to generate through this course, we'll also save them here. This is the original data, and then you could see that this is the data that we now add more variables that we're going to use in the analysis. We don't want to tamper with the original data. That's the idea. So the aim is to make sure that we use the raw data, process data, and then we add more variables that we process. So based on that, what we're going to do now is to it will be in pretty much in two parts. The first part is now to create group variables. That is, you know, there are certain aspects or responses that maybe can go beyond 5 or 6 parameters. We want to make sure that we're grouping them. For example, if it's a disease, we know that this is related to a particular category of diseases. We're also going to categorize that data accordingly. The other aspect that we're also going to follow is that, you know, for every group variables that we're going to create, we're going to go through each module, look at the process data, look at the final responses that in that selected variable, and then create group variables. Create a group variable from that list of responses that you know, that variable also contains. So we're going to go through a household roster, education, health, but also looking at other aspects like time of use, housing, land roster, issues to do with food security. These we're not going to touch because we create a real consumption aggregate, so that's fine. But anything to do with farm implements, machinery and structures, and then household enterprises, we're looking at subjective assessment of well-being, all the way up to, you know, the last one, which is now looking at deaths. Okay, so that's the approach that we're going to take. And then once we've done that, what we need to do now is now to load the data that we want to use, which is now the raw data, process data, which is household 2019, and then, you know, just run this, and then what we have now is the data in our system. So that's what we want to do. So first thing that we're going to do is now to create what we call a coordinates data file. This is something that we're also going to use in subsequent courses, particularly looking at data that might be useful when we're looking at other you know, platforms like Python. How do we create maps based on, you know, GeoJSON you know, shapefiles, right? So what we're going to do first is to now we want to merge this with the Geovariables data file. I already checked it. It has 11,484 observations, which is pretty much the same as our data file, so the merging won't be a problem. Here I'm just going to say no gen because I don't want it to generate a merged variable. Usually that also creates problems, but now I know that the merge is going to be good. All I have to do is to just generate it, and then it will also describe what's contained in the data file. So you can see that there are a lot of variables that we have, but what I'm also interested is not necessarily the everything, to see everything, but I just want to know how many variables do we have in this file. So I'll just say describe, but don't describe the variables. Just give me a summary, and then it tells me that there are 434 observations, and there are 2,776 2,776 variables. Those are a lot of that's a lot of variables for one to conduct an analysis. All right. So next, we want now to based on the variable list, what I'm interested in is on the coordinates, that is the latitude and as well as the longitude. And then what we're going to do is we want to create a coordinates data file and save it. And the way we do it is we want to let me just show you that, because we know that in the data we have because this will be the last one, we have coordinates for each household, right? But this household belongs to an EA, belongs to an EA or TA, but also they belong to a district. So what we want to do in this case is to generate a variable called they want to collapse these by district, because we're taking the mean of that of those EA of those parameters to represent a parameter for that district. Okay, so we're going to collapse it, and then if we run it, one of the things that we're also going to do is generate an ID, because this will be important when you are running maps. An ID is important so that it identifies the district that we are will be working on. So run it, and then it will show indeed that it has created the mean of that latitude as well as longitude. And as you can see in the data, you could see that now we do have all the parameters there. We have 32 observations in the district, and then these are the coordinates for those districts, right? Okay, then what we also need to do is once we've done that, rename the variables, and then once we've renamed them, because I just want to make sure that they have proper labels, we're going to rename this long one as simply latitude and longitude, and then also label the variables that latitude modified, longitude modified, or you can just say district latitude modified, as well as here district longitude modified. Okay, we can run this and describe, and it will also show that indeed I've labeled my variables. And lastly, what we need to do is just to save this so that we include it, we can use it in subsequent chapter. Because remember that we are preparing variables for data analysis, and then we reorder ID district just to make sure that everything is in front, and then I can save that as my coordinates data file. So you can see that we have a good structure here, ID, the district name, and then also the coordinate. Once that is done, always remember save your data file so that you should make sure that once you close this, we're able to come back. When we start where we stopped. So in the next video, we're now going to go through, continue with the analysis of creating these group variables.